In today's video, I'll show you how you'd be able to use mind maps in ClickUp. So let's get started. So first of all is that you want to navigate here to the space that you would want to create your mind map on. For example, I'm going to go here for my agency management space. And from here, just simply need to create one of these mind map views. So I already have one. So to do that, you just simply need to click here on view. Now you would want to go into searching here for mind, and then you would have mind map, which is this one. So click on that, and then you'd be able to create one. And then from here, you're gonna create a task mode mind map or blank mode mind map. So the blank mode is for freeform brainstorming, while the task mode is for visualizing existing task. So in my case, I'll just go for task in here since I already have my task in my other views set up in my space already. So in here, I can now see the mind map here already. So basically, you can just click here on a plus button and then you'd be able to see the sub task that comes along with that current node. So node is what we call for each of this space right here. So yeah, basically you can expand this all right here until you see all of them. And then you could always zoom out by dragging it here, right here. And you could always rename them if you want to. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit and I can rename this, let's say, all projects. Right here, all projects, just like that. And then also right here, you could also rename that and so on, and click here on this button to expand that specific task that you would want to view. And then you can see that right here. So yeah, this is the mind maps right here. Now let me show you on what would happen if you go for the blank mode, which is this one. So basically you'll be starting with a root node. And from here is that you just basically need to click on the node, and then you can click here on create task if you'd want to add a task into this one, or click here on a plus button if you'd want a connecting node, and then you could just name this node, let's say task 1. And then on this one right here, I could click here on create a task, and you can now select from the list on where you'd want this to be created. Let's say I would want it to be created here in space, and then I'm going to go into list and click on create. And then when I go here into space, and then I'm going to go into list, you'd now be able to see that it is now right here, which is the task one that we have just created. So you could also create a task directly from the node right here, even if it is in a different space right here. And then you could always add more. So I'm just going to select this. And if you click here on this button, you'd be able to add another node that is connected to the node that is connected to this node that you selected this button on. And let's say I'm going to go for task 2. And then I now have that again. And the same thing, I could also create a task in there. And then I could create another node into it, and so on. So basically, this is how you can start from scratch, connecting your nodes into one another and have all of these branches. And now you could also expand them. And then this is where you'd be able to add the details for this task if you'd want to. And yeah, this is basically it on the basics and how you'd be able to use your mind maps in here in ClickUp. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.